first life, and it's really nice. Maybe on Instagram, anyway. Alpha.
So welcome. Quite a lot has been going on today, and I'm glad to have you here. It is an honor to have you, especially with what you have done for this wonderful lady and how many people you have helped. First of all, tell us a little bit about you. Why did you leave Nigeria? Wetin make you japa?
Okay, yeah. That is, yeah. So I think it was in the course of our discussing a few days ago that I was just talking past my maid, and you said it would be nice to share that here also. Now, why Jagba? I left Nigeria finally about 1 year ago. However, I'm still in Nigeria, and I still have my businesses. I still have over 20 persons under my payroll in Nigeria. So I'm an IT. I've been an IT all my life, and specifically, I had my first degree in engineering, and I also had some other IT training. That's a BSc in Management Information System. But however, at the moment I'm in AI, I'm certified in the area of enterprise application, my support application, digital transformation. I'm project manager. I've handled projects with the likes of Deloitte and BAT, and even some of the Dangote projects in SAP. We did that. And I did a program with MIT. I concluded that not too long ago in AI in healthcare. And just like I was telling you the last time, very soon a lot of doctors will be very relevant. Not really irrelevant. I mean, people need to scale up. Where we have with some kind of a biomechatronics going on today, where you have prosthetics, limbs, where we have bionics, where the human neurons can communicate with electronics. And they've used machine learning to know how humans and how these cells behave. Let's say, for example, there's something called tripping in electromechanical. I don't know how to put that. There's bio. I don't want to go there, but however, machine learning has been used in such a way that machines are connected to human neurons, and say there are certain things that the eye sees, and it passes from the nervous system into the brain, and it says this leg needs to stand up. And so some of those prosthetics, artificial arms and limbs will be working together with the brain. You don't need to cut people open to actually perform with operations with things like the origami robots going into the veins. And currently taking a program AI in business and how that is going to go. That's with Harvard Business School also. So I've come a long way. Even if I'm talking about travels today and how people will get green card, it's just because that's the platform in which I have been here. And so I'm not just coming to tell people something because I am in travel. I've been traveling. I've been in this in IT for about 18 years and traveling for like 15 years, running a corporate firm. So that's my background. Coming to the US, it's just because of the fact that my family has been here for over 10 years. But however, there are more opportunities here in the US. For those of us in STEM, there are lots of opportunities. There's no economy that is as large as the US. We also, the current administration, you see one statement from White House, the entire world is shaking. So for business and some other things, I think the US provides more opportunities for me. So that's my journey so far here in the US. And so I've come because of more opportunities here. Yep.
Now, let's talk about opportunities. Do you think there are more opportunities in the USA than there are in Nigeria?
Of course, very much more. That is, I have someone that's supposed to join this live. He can see Blake.
Before we bring him live, before we bring anybody live, I want to talk to you. You shared a story with me when we were talking on the phone the other day,
Yeah.
and I personally think that it would be in the interest of the general public that you shared that particular story. So tell us
Yeah.
about your maid.
Yeah.
How did that happen?
She's my relative in any way. Just like in Nigeria, I grew up in
Hmm.
Enugu. For a lot of people who may be watching here who have been in Enugu, when it comes to IT, my company Uranium Technologies, for the past 18 years, and so I used to be on the media. And while I started that so young, I got married. My wife also young, and we're living. And when it was time for us to have a child, our first child, we needed help like any other person will. And so my mom had to get this relative of mine from from the village, and she started living with us for quite some time. So when it was time, as at then I come into the US to have my other children, and when it was time for us to relocate to the US, I asked my wife. I was like, this girl has stayed with us for 3 years, and she's been
Hmm.
nice. And there have been funny incidents. I remember one incident. Sometimes when you have people who come to stay with you from where they come from, and then you get to see some milk, and some pilfering always happen, and you see you want to get that meat. Why are you stealing? But as at then, what I did was I made a practice.
Hmm.
I said, okay, it's milk, it's Bonvita, you want to, the Milo, you want to take it in the kitchen, you don't need to tiptoe. I got like 5, it's all yours, rather than go. So next time, ask. But after 3 years, she was really nice, and I asked my wife, and she was like, why not? You could do that. And so I got to the dad who was in the village. So then I tried to get his driver's license in order to get her a passport. And we did the entire process till we were able to get her a visa. And some things relating to some of those processes that we're going to be talking about here.
Hmm.
There was something when we got to the embassy, and like I told you, when they asked, like anybody would say as a then, and they say, uh, do you have a document to show this person staying with you after seeing the pictures for like 3 years? And like I told my wife, I mean, in Africa, we don't sign documents to have relatives stay with us. And the consular was like, oh, that's right. Because that shows sincerity. It doesn't mean that you don't need an official document, but as at that point in time, how many of us have documents for relatives that stay with us some years back? And these people study and they understand our lifestyle, and that was true. And she was like, correct, and everything was good. And so when she got the visa, it was after the visa I got her parents' name, and that was the only thing. I said, okay, they will get this profit from her when she becomes a US citizen. So, and I told the parents, okay, we want to go to the US. Would you want this girl to go with her? And they were like, whoa, wow, she's been staying with you for 3 years. You are the parents, and you are talking about the US. And I'm like, okay, but again, we already secured the visa. And when I got to my parents and my in-laws, I say I want to do this, and the suggestion was like, oh no, your sister is there, and you have that your brother. There's always everybody.
Hmm.
No one cares about who was with us for 3 years, helping with the babies, helping with things out. When it was time to go to the US, it must be a sibling. But and it was really nice for my wife. And today, she's with us 22. She's a paralegal today in the US. I mean, if you see the transformation, and sometimes I get proud of myself and say, if I could do this for somebody, and I believe that's why, there are many stories all around. So that's the story with my relative, which I'll call, who was brought to us. I mean, if you see this person from before and after, and she's already an American now, so I mean, from expression and everything. So, but there are many people. If you get legal stay in the US, there are a lot you can do, and that's what we want to talk about here.
Hmm.
There are lots of Nigerians that don't understand that there are opportunities for professionals to transition at a professional level in Nigeria to a professional level here. Now, the refusal, I'll give you something. I connected with an old friend who used to work with a telecom company. And when we got talking, he told me, we connected today. He told me he's in the US, he's in Indiana, anyway, if he's listening here. And Nigeria happened to him, and he had to come to the US. And IT, he's been a CIO at different level, Chief Information Officer. And when we got talking, the pathway in which he was given to come to the US would if it was completely not what it should be at his status. And I told him, so you don't know with your non-immigrant visa you can come into the US, and maybe with not intent to stay after 90 days, you can actually get to apply for the O visa or the EB visa. And within that period, you can also apply for a work authorization, which is work permit, and maybe an advance parole to leave the US at your time. You know, there are so many things that are available that people who are learned are actually going down the drain, competing with the carpenters, the vulcanizers who want to come to the US. There are pathways for professionals who can also be professionals. And that's why when people say, my wife never stood in the US with her qualification from Nigeria and everything. She's with Deloitte. She's worked with so many Deloitte, with Infosys, and a couple of other persons. Like I told you earlier when we were talking, I live in Houston. I have our offices in Houston. I came all the way to Dallas. Now I'm one of the houses of the guys who was here, I think about 5 years ago. Now this is one of the persons who processed. I remember when I met this young man, you know, he came to me. I was on Nigeria Info in Port Harcourt while I was talking about something about migration. And he said he was, I don't know how he heard on radio, and he came to that workshop. We had our office at Next Time Supermarket. And he said, this is what I've got, and I want to get into the US. And you said this. And good enough, with guidance, he's in the US 6 years down the line, maybe 5 years or thereabout. He's a permanent resident. I mean, this guy is still in his 30s. That if I'm telling you, he's living alone, working corporate jobs. When I mean corporate, he works with a corporate firm, and there are a number of them. He's got a cyber truck. He gets cyber truck for inside this house, so I small. I mean, these
how
are
old is he?
Working at the end, he should be in his maybe 34, 35.
How did he come to Nigeria?
How did he come to the US?
I mean, to the US, I beg your pardon.
Yes, that's our process. Remember, I told you that people can get in, and then legally with the EB and with the O visa, which we're talking about, you can get your permanent residence here in the US. So people come through different pathways. Migrating is all about information. I know there are a number of persons. If we have time, we are going to be talking to people who are even in the UK. A lot of them in the US. They are listening now, and people are like, is it possible to migrate from Nigeria as a permanent resident to the US? Yes, if you're a professional. If you, most especially if you're in the STEM field, IT. There are some in the media arts. Now, the reason I'll tell you, do you know that people not even at your level of broadcasting can get a permanent resident in the US using on the EB process in less than 3 months? And when I say permanent resident, it's with the entire family. Your work in broadcasting is what gives you the permanent residence. Your work in engineering is what gives you the permanent residence. The US is in need of skills. Funny enough, what most people know is the Canada immigration. Canada is almost plunging into recession. There are lots tightening immigration rule. The US is open if you're a professional. You have a master's.
So are you saying the US is better than Canada for now?
I mean, it has always been better than Canada. It has always been better than Canada. I mean, it depends on, for individuals, for us as Nigerians who migrate, the number one country for me is the United States. I've lived in Canada. I've always been in the UK. and maybe the Europe country.
Hmm.
The US is the only place a professional can come. US is the place where you have people who are. I have friends who have $1 million and they work, they earn salary, and their savings is over $1 million. I have about 4 of them.
Hmm.
They are not businessmen. The US, I mean, when you talk about the pay level, the US pays more. But you know, when most people want to jump for the B1, B2 visa, and that's misplacement of priority. You want to come to the US to stay, you want to come to the US to work, and you're going for a visit visa, and the entire assessment will be based on if you are going to return back to Nigeria. But for the category of visas we are talking about, the EB visa, the A1 visa, or A1, O1B, O1A, they are visas that says, I want to come to the US and stay and work. US have such visas. They are not common among Nigerians. They are being exploited by Indians, by Philippines. You find some of those countries, which are not English-speaking countries, taking the slot of Nigerians. And so what we are saying is that if you're a professional in Nigeria, irrespective of where you are, we pre-qualify you first. We want to be sure that you qualify. It's not everyone that can get it. And that's one unique thing with us at Michelle J Consulting. At MJC, which we are in Lagos, we're in Abuja, in Nigeria. And if you come, for 50% of people who come to us, I mean, for 100%, we only accept like about 50. Because most times, getting a visa refusal is disastrous. Besides the psychological and emotional damages, there are lots of financial losses. And in most cases, if you get to an experienced immigration consultant, we could tell if this is going to work for you or not from the inception of the process. So what we are saying is that the US is open. And what is Donald Trump? The US takes an average of about 500,000 people who come in through the border every year. And these people get into the US job market and still, US job market, they are absorbed. Now, Donald Trump has stopped those loopholes. Who's gonna fill up those supply chain? And that's one of the questions most of us in the US are saying. If the illegal immigrants in the US are removed, the US is going to collapse. They are part of the system. In as much as they are trying to regularize, and so many unnecessary rhetorics are going on. People are being deported, stop and search. There's nothing like that. The US, when I hear there was one time I was listening to your show when someone said, "Oh, ICE is going to stop you," and they say everyone go with their passport. There are some kind of discussions I call beer parlor talk. No facts. We just go by what happens everywhere. I mean, I'll ask people who are in the US, how many people have actually seen ICE, Immigration and Custom Enforcement, which is an agency under the Department of Homeland Security? They are not on the streets. They only go for people that they are actually targeted. So it's not like, and it would be wonderful to know that even in the US, I mean, deportation is an expensive process. And that's why you see Trump saying there's the self-deportation through the CBP home. There's an application, or if you've ever stayed in the US, just come fill the CBP home and choose to say you want to go to your country. We are going to fly you free of charge, and we're going to give you $1,000. But how many people are going to do that? It's the US. It's number one country in the world.
To make you can't snitch on yourself.
So that is what we are just what I'm just trying to tell Nigerians here is you can legally get into the US. It's not a cheap process, but you don't go into it if you will not qualify. Most people know this same process for Canada. It's available in the US. It's called the EB visa. It's called the O1A visa and the O1B visa. Yeah.
What's the difference between the O1A visa and O1B visa?
First of all, the O visa is a kind of it's a temporal visa, a non-immigrant visa, which means you come, they give you for initial 3 years to work. You have an agent that's going to apply. Like my company here in the US, GMDL, it's an agent authorized here in the US. And so what happens? The O1A are for people in sciences, in management, and the likes. The O1B are for people like you in media, the media arts, people who are in the arts, media. It could be music, it could be editing or whatever it is. So the O1B are for media professionals. And like one thing I want to really get clear here is this category of visas are for professionals, and that's why you must bring proof that you've been on the media. You must bring proof that you have certain qualifications, and they must be verified through some sort of public media. So the O1B is for those in sciences and management. Sorry, the O1A. The B is specifically reserved for those in the arts. So, but in this case, like I said, evidences, documents to show, and so it's for people who are learned. And basically, most of these programs, you must have a bachelor's degree. That's the basic qualification. You should. It's not compulsory, but to actually brighten that, you should have a bachelor's degree. If it's higher, better, because those qualifications are also going to be evaluated by certain bodies like WES, some of those bodies that we know. Yep.
You said your guy that you're living with has a cyber truck, and you are the one that helped him come to the US.
No, I'm not living with him. I just visited him. I came into Dallas yesterday.
But were you the one that helped him come into the US?
Yes, the US and every other processes. Yeah, from end to end.
How long ago did he enter the US?
I think it should be like 4 years or 5 years.
So he's been in the US for 5 years, and he drive cyber truck.
Yeah.
I want to see the cyber truck.
That is
I want to see this. Guys, do you want to see the cyber truck?
This guy, he works. See, people. I realize that people can work and live a life really, really good. Wait, let me see if sorry, I just said that. Hello. Wait. Guys, that if you see me, I shoot in your cyber truck.
No, I tell her, say I don't believe until I see him.
They say they don't believe, so you get cyber truck. See how? Okay, that if you make I show you. No, how do you put this in your garage? That's the light. Yeah. I think put out there.
I'm on a cyber truck, no be Beyonce. Okay, I don't believe saying I ain't get to make you open the boot. Make you open that boot, that front boot.
Okay, open up a front.
The front boot, that front boot, open up.
You did live for, sorry, you did live for on Instagram.
They say seeing is believing. Now ain't get am. You feel sit down inside, me will take belief, say no be 3D, no be say that they.
It's not sit down inside, it'll be like 3D. And then, no, that if you make you know hype too much, I get to put it yourself.
In 5 years, this guy don't they push cyber truck for US. You enter the car.
I go drive him. I go drive him. You don't tell me say make I drive him so safe. Funny, good enough. It's just that people walk.
Before we had like 180 people watching. As you show them Cybertruck, the number just go to like 200 and something.
No, these are just.
Please, can you help people who are professionals so that they too can be driving Cybertruck?
Yeah, see.
Please, what number? Before you talk any long talk, what number? Because everybody don't they DM me, say Daddy Freeze, I want to go to America. Daddy Freeze, I want to drive Cybertruck. How do they get it? Please, can you give out a number?
Yeah, I think there's somebody, Precious. I don't know if you're online. Just send number. It's not something you just want to. We have there are physical offices in Lagos and Abuja. We're in Okwebi, in Ikeja, we're in Wuseti, in Abuja. You can get to meet anybody to know. Why we're talking about this, it's not really, for me, I said something. The number of people who have migrated through our firm to the US, UK, and Canada, and some of Europe, it's enough. When people say it's brain drain, I say they drain brain with the waste. Some of these boys when they talk shit that they freeze, they earn. I'm not sure say this guy they see 200,000 or 300,000 when he did a job. One of the reasons make I not talk figure. We understand when someone is a senior consultant with Deloitte. One of the reasons my wife leave Nigeria and say you see job of 150K. Now I'm not saying that everybody must leave Nigeria, but if someone who is a manager in a bank because he qualifies to come over, or is a manager in an oil and gas field, he has opportunity to come into the US and still function at that level and earn more. What does that mean? Someone else will fill that position in Nigeria. So you now still unemployment to the court. And the person will deal for this side. That's probably remittance. So somehow, and even if it doesn't come so cheap, because we don't want people who would not qualify to go for it at all. It's for people who are, you need to be a little bit exceptional in what you do. Exceptional in the sense that it's not just for anybody. America wants people with BC that will add value into their system. So, and that's what we are actually preaching. The good thing is there are different routes. The EB1 may suit Mr. A. And do you know the EB? You didn't actually ask about the O1 and the EB. But the interesting thing is that the EB is a direct permanent resident visa. A PR, a green card directly. You are not coming, it's not a work permit or anything, you and your entire family. And we've got a number of persons who have gotten that. I wish I could have, I think Blake, why not let Blake explain some of these things that he frees. And then I want one or two persons. I told a number of persons who have benefited from this. I shared with them. I said, I'm going to be on Instagram. I want you to join. We'll invite you. I'll tell that the freeze to invite you so that you can just tell people. It's all about people and their story. It's beyond processing visa for people with us. It's about having someone understanding, taking the right path. One of the things you'll find, I'll tell you, among the thousands of people we have migrated to the US, UK, and Canada, that I did tell you confidently that there's none of them complaining. But believe me, 90% of people who went as students to UK and Canada, 90% of them in the last 3 years, they are crying. They are crying. If they are listening, if there are people in the UK, one, who's going to file for you after your post-study? These countries are facing serious immigration problems. A good number of people who are in this program for EB that we're doing, they are in the UK and Canada, Nigerians in the UK and Canada. Why? There is no sure pathway to permanent residence. People spend thousands of dollars to go to school, but their actual intent is permanent residence. And it's not forthcoming. And so it's not the best. If you know you are not studying, if you are not going to any of these countries to study, most especially the UK or Canada, if your intent is after I finish, I'm going to get a company that will file for me and I'll become a permanent resident, man, that is a dream that is really far. The problems of these countries are such that they are so strict with immigration. But however, there are other pathways that you could use, but not assuming that you could get that easily. But you know, the good thing is for those people in the UK and those in Canada, you have gone through one qualification and you don't have a pathway to your residence, get into the EB or the O1 in the US. We have done, there are a number of persons that we have in these countries that have actually done that. So that's just it. Now, please make I get one or two persons.
Before you get one or two persons join you, please. What number? What number can people get you on right now? People are interested in yes.
For me, WhatsApp, I'll call directly 346. My direct number. Sometimes I'll always refer it to somebody. 346 668 5436. Let me put that.
Please pin it so I can pin it. Put it down so I can be saying it from time to time.
346 668 5436. I'm always in Nigeria also, so this number still goes. I'll get my Nigerian number 3466. So if I'm not on the Nigerian number, then I'm more available on the US number 346. So add your +1 346.
All right, have you pinned it?
Sorry.
Type it again so I can pin it.
46 68 54 36. There are lots of misconception about the US, and I want to tell any Nigerian that there's no better time to attempt to come to the US than now. And it's, you know, one thing that is unique about us is I just sent my number. You could pin that.
Okay. That's the number, right? Is that the number pinned?
Yeah. No. You pinned that. So that's my Nigerian number. Let me pin my
your USA number with the code. Okay, this one. Let me pin it. Now check what I pinned.
Yeah, correct.
All right, guys. This is the number. If you're interested in, remember, I always like to put disclaimers because some people just think that once they don't call you, they don't get visa automatically. There are some criteria you have to meet. If you don't meet the criteria, organizer cannot get a professional green card unless they are looking for organizer.
Go to US visa launch.
So don't come into my DM and say you gave somebody money, they ran away with your money. Now you know you give money, no hold me. And my brother here is talking in plain English about they will have to screen you first. So a lot of people are, you see, the worst thing to do is to jackpot wrongly.
Honestly,
you can set yourself back 15 years in life if you jackpot wrongly. Let me tell you a story. One man I know, no vex at the talk, 45 years old. For the visa way take go, he saying be 27. He go Italy. He dey work as janitor for Italy. 45-year-old man claims saying be 27. 20 years later, he's 67. According to his age, he is 47. They are expecting work of 47-year-old from my mama age. My mother is 70. So person when my mama used 3 years senior. How many run if you run as janitor? How many floor if you clean?
You know,
now he's 73. He's still doing that work because they are going to retire him at 70, which will be like 95. When the guy called me, tell me private money. I don't know whether you understand Yoruba.
Yeah.
Money you want my share kuni. I say you go walk till you buy. Say you don't even feel reach that 95. Who tell you say for this life you go reach 95? You go walk till you buy ni. O ma share ku. So there's nothing worse than jackpying wrong jackpot. You collect visiting visa, you go abroad the first time, you come back. You go the second time, you run. It's not like you cannot sort it out. But is it not better that they receive you with their arm and leg and give you green card from the get-go? Maybe you could be a candidate. Why don't you just send a WhatsApp message to Lucky now? +1 3 4 6 6 6 8 5 4 3 6. I don't know what's wrong with my eyes. Like this London where I go, my eye just became worse. Before I could read normal numbers, now I can't even read numbers. Luckily for you, Lucky, it is a very lucky that I have +1 3 4 6 6 6 8 5 4 3 6. So just do it like this: +1 3 4 Antichrist 8 5 4 3 6. The number is 666. 666. They the number, but I like America. They go separate them. So 1 6 they decide, another 2 6 they decide. So you don't go look at like 666. So +3 4 666 8 5 4 3 6. They talk Antichrist. Antichrist. Somebody don't plug in now. They waste your time. They look for superstition. I'm giving you the number again. Write it down. Get a pen and a paper. +1 3 4 6 6 6 8 5 4 3 6. Go on, Lucky.
Yeah, also there are some people that talk, go visit, come back. I remember the first time coming to the US to give birth to our second child. And what my mom was like, and giving birth in the US, it costs some money. As at the time I was coming to, I was driving an Audi 80. This Audi 80, maybe old car then. I arranged because I said no, I want these kids to have US passport. And when we got to the US, my mom was like, when I won't come back, now everybody don't go America. But no access to information, not knowing what to do, you just want to be there. It wasn't ideal as at that point. Till it was time and then we were ready. And I would say there are so many people who may come to us that may not qualify for this because of their history with the US Embassy. And those are things we check. And that's why when you come to us, we say, have you applied to the US Embassy before? And you say, yes, possibly you've been denied or not. And do you have access to those information? And you say, no, you can't be a candidate. The reason is we are going to misinterpret you. We are going to misrepresent you. Because you have given information and people jump from, excuse me, I don't know how to put it, agent to one agent, from one agent to the other agent, not understanding what they are doing.
Let me ask you a question. If you've been refused a visa before, why are you saying you can't help the person?
No, not now. The category of visas. I'll give an example of refusal.
Okay.
In the US, there is an agency called Department of State, which Hillary Clinton used to head. Currently, we have Michael Rubio. We have also in the US Department of Homeland Security. Now, the Department of Homeland Security in the US is in charge of anything that has to do with the US, United States Immigration Service, Custom and Border Protection, CBP, Immigration and Custom Enforcement, ICE. We have CISA, that's cyber security, something. We also have, there are a number of agencies other than. Now, they are interested in the securing the internal security, including humans or anything that comes into the US. Now, if you have any problem with CBP, which could be border, there are some people who want to come into the US, you have given wrong information to border protection officer at the airport, Now, if you are not cleared, if you have a single thing against you by Homeland Security, there is nothing the embassy can do.
Explain what you mean by that. What can you have against you?
Okay, I'll give an example. There are people, if you travel at the moment, you know what they call human trafficking.
Yes.
Now, you can travel in the US. This is one thing that the US government sees. And, there are so many people that don't know. You travel, there are a lot of people that travel with their family. Let's say a father travels with his family on a non-immigrant visa. And you see, the man leaves the wife and the children in the US and then travels back to Nigeria. And then those people find some other ways to get their stay. Now, do you know the US government is going to count it against that man? He trafficked his family. You don't, that's why there are people listening to me now that know that you go to the embassy, they keep refusing you visas, but you have your family back here. And some of them have been giving those notes. Now, imagine that some people don't give notes and they are made to know that you do not qualify for a waiver. Now, there's what they call, you can apply for waiver of inadmissibility, which means the reason why you are actually refused visa is because you are not admissible in the US. And if that problem is with Homeland Security, till Homeland Security reviews that issue, you keep paying for that visa and you will never get it. Except if it's an immigrant visa. An immigrant visa automatically will cover some of those things. So there are certain persons who want to go for a study visa. It's non-immigrant. You want to go for the old visa. It's non-immigrant. Remember, you possibly have a clause. Now, some people who go to the US also will notice during COVID, a lot of people tried. I traveled a lot I traveled a lot because of the business of, apart from my IT taking me here and there. During COVID, lots of people went to the US embassy to renew their visas and they were turned down, and a few people under COVID. The reason was, and since then, it's been really tough for such people to regain that visa. The reason is just, how can you justify vacation during COVID? During COVID, how can you justify? Now, I'm always in the UK, and during COVID, when I traveled to the UK, for the first time, I was asked, how can you be coming during COVID? Why are you coming here now? What kind of holidays? In fact, as at then, we were not flying to Nigeria, so you have to go to the Republic of Benin to fly. So, some of those things, and the US is very strict about data, information. No. And how else would they implement that? It's just like I said, in machine learning. I mean, if for people who are in IT and understand what machine learning is doing, there's a proposal that I'm trying to give to one of my state government to say, with machine learning, I mean, just some little application of IT, you can reduce crime by about 30% and increase government revenue by about 17%. Now, imagine one thing correcting two things. Today we have less human intervention in things that are happening. And that's why when I see some people say, you are hiding, there's no get where they feel hide today. It's not possible. And that's one of the problems where you can have data. I remember when I gave birth to my child in the hospital, I was in the hospital. When the systems are all, the IT system, everything all connected. What they did, they couldn't get, immediately that child was born at the hospital here in Houston, the blood were taken. And I heard they were sent to Austin. I mean, first, the identity of that child from the blood, there were certain places they were sent to. I don't know where, so far as the US government is concerned. The child was tagged, and immediately, that less than 2 hours, the lady from, I don't know where she's from, said, what's the child's name? And I said that they give Pekin name when they just born after 1 hour. She said, no, I'll give you time. I'll give you like 3. I'll give you time. I thought maybe she'll come the next day. After 1 hour, she was there. What's the child's name? Because why? She is at the point of giving somebody American citizenship. It's a child that was born, and so it's delicate.
Oh, when I quickly give the child name Lucky Junior.
Oh, but as in my wife, they asked me name, I just demand that everything will just come. That Michelle was, if I just say Michelle, so Michelle Obama, and I just think I said, just call her Michelle.
Michelle Obama. Omo lucky,
so,
lucky Pekin.
so but however, what I'm just saying is, with the way the system is actually tapped, data, like we say, data is good. A lot's happening, and so there are things that people come and see, with foreign commission sharing information, with certain things flowing from one end to the other, and somebody feels you can say, I am this today, and come to this other place and say that. A hard truth is that there are certain persons that can never get like the US visa. There's no country that is as strict as the US. But however, with the immigrant visa is one that covers a lot of things. If you have not been banned, you can always get, and if you're a professional. So rather than looking for routes that are not, that may not really give you.
So people have been banned.
Of course. For example, sometimes people get, one thing about America, I always ask people that how many people have been banned from the UK? How many people are banned from Canada? People are being banned. But one hype about America, when America bans a public figure, you see it all over the world. You say, America says you can't come in. America says this politician in Nigeria cannot come in. America says that. So America, there are lots of bans that go on. And it's also, if you overstay in the US and you voluntarily return to your country, if you've stayed more than 1 year in the US, you are automatically banned for 10 years. So you voluntarily return, except maybe you were actually given pardon before you leave. There are some people for misinterpretation when you go to the consulate or the embassy in Nigeria and you bring certain things that are wrong, and they can verify that those things are false. People are banned 5 years, as the case may be.
Oh wow!
So some of those things are key things we want to see. You don't want to spend resources in getting maybe something that could be a non-immigrant work visa, and because you did not check so well or so much. But we are that detailed. That's one of the things we do. So it's not about giving money. For thousands of people who have gone through us, the difference and what is really interesting for us is that empathy. Trying to see people spend money to get something done. Let them get value. And that's why sometimes you don't have to pay money if process don't go. There are some category of visas that we get to that point. We say no. And that's why for everything there are legal agreements to see how this thing goes. That's just it.
All right. You wanted to bring some people to join us. Let them come and share their own stories. In the meantime, if you want to get in touch with Mr. Lucky, who's right here with us, it's +1 on WhatsApp. Get your pen and a paper or your notepad. +1 34 666 85436. +1 34 666 85436. So who are we bringing next?
I don't know if Blake is still here. Is Blake here?
Blake, what is his handle? Okay. Onyega Blake.
No, is it Omega Blake?
Something like that. Something Blake. And he is here with us.
Yeah. So Blake,
hi, Blake.
Hi, Daddy Freeze. How's it going, guys?
You're not Nigerian.
Yeah, I was going to say that's the first thing we can address is I do not look or sound Nigerian because I am not. I am an American.
Oh, wow. I was like, let's bring Blake. And I'm like, oh, my goodness. How are you doing, Blake?
I'm doing great. Thank you so much for making time and having me today, guys.
Okay. So go ahead.
Yeah, well, my name is Blake Davis. I just wanted to take a little bit of time today to address some of the things. I've been in the comments as well. And first of all, the Cybertruck is pretty cool. So we can start with that. I see a lot of
pretty cool, especially now. I don't want to go there when Elon and Trump are being Elon and Trump, but we're not going to go there.
Their thing, man. One thing I don't talk about is politics just because everybody else does enough talking about it for me. But when it comes to these visas, guys, I see a lot of confusion in the comments, and a lot of people thinking that, like, oh, you have to be a celebrity to be qualified or things like that. That is not necessarily true at all. That is the whole purpose of this visa program with EB and the O1 is you just have to be exceptional at what you do. So if you are a STEM person and you're exceptional in those fields, that's awesome. If you are a ballet dancer and you are exceptional in the field of ballet dancing, that's awesome. You can qualify. There are so many different avenues. One of the reasons I believe in what we do with this company is, I have seen the immigration process go negatively for people in my life, not so much myself. And I have a brother-in-law who lives in England who has been trying to come over, and he's running into roadblocks, this, that. He didn't have a form. He didn't have this. It stayed too long, as you had mentioned before. He came over on a student visa originally, and that hurt him later when he wanted to come. So, I believe in what we're doing, and me being an American, like, what's in it for me? What's the value for me, right? Is I like to help people. I've been interested in customer service since I was little. Every job I've ever had has been in the interest of helping and serving others. So I really find myself in a position with, MJC and JDML where we can help others, and that's something that I personally believe in. I'd like to talk about who qualifies for the visa because it's so many more people than you think. Have you won a significant award in your field? Have you been asked to judge the work of others? Do you have a portfolio that can prove that? Because that's really all it comes down to.
Someone like me, I'm the first person to win the Nickelodeon Kids' Choice Award in Africa.
There you go.
Yeah, awesome. like I said, you are EB1 category. We don't. I did say let's talk about people lower than you. For you, that means you can get a permanent resident of your family in less than 3 months if you go on the premium process. Yes, premium is 15 days. Mm-hmm. The payment 15 days, the decision is made, and visa number is immediately available for such person. So the regular visa, the application fee it takes like 10 months or thereabout. But if you go for the premium, paying much more, your case will be agitated in 15 days.
How much do I have to pay? All this one that is sounding so nice. How much do I have to pay?
Maybe with your family, it's about, at the moment, we're doing $7,000. But that's for people who qualify. So we will pre-qualify. So we don't want people who will not qualify to pay. No? So $7,000 is going to get you there. It's actually, it's 10, but we really, to be honest, coming out here, you don't sell what is good. And I mean, there are some uniqueness about us. I think I'll just let Blake talk a little bit more about who qualifies and how they will think. But for you like that, the freeze, yeah, you're good. $7,000, I can say everybody with you.
There's so many ways to qualify, guys. If you look at a sheet that says, hey, here's 10 things you need to have in order to be able to come over, you don't need to have all 10. You need to have like 3 out of those 10, right? Yeah. So the first thing to say is if you're listening to this live call and you're asking in the comment sections, like, Blake, how do I get over? The first thing you should do is probably book an appointment. But before you book that appointment, you have to believe that you qualify, right? Because we want qualified people. I don't want to waste anyone's time on this live. I don't want my time wasted. I do the applicant review. So if you don't have everything that you need to qualify, that's fine. We need to establish a starting point of what you do have, and I'll tell you what you need to get the rest. We could figure it out together. But it all starts with believing. I need you to believe in yourself and believe in your skills. That way you can prove to the United States of America that you're worth letting in. You know what I mean? We're looking for great minds. We're looking for exceptional people. That's why these visas are set up the way they are, to bring exceptional talent in. And they are prioritizing people in the tech field right now. The U.S. is booming with AI advancement and AI jobs. At first, if you asked about AI 5 years ago, I even personally would have been like, oh, it's not really going to take or create a lot of jobs. It'll pop. We'll have to put more learning in. And here we are now, where it is creating such a booming job market, where we are asking for the best and bright minds from around the entire globe to come over. So if you're sitting in this comment section and you're asking like, oh, I'm not a tech person, like how can I qualify? I'm just a DJ for, a radio station. Okay. Have you been nationally recognized as a top DJ? Are you paid more than other DJs in that same field? Then guess what? You've hit 2 of those qualifications that you need already. So I would implore anyone, again, your story matters. And if you want your story to extend outside of the book that you're in and start a new book, then I would say book your appointment with us.
Yeah, you can always book appointment with Blake. So the first person you talk to, Blake is there. I am here. I want to understand from the Nigerian point, Blake is working from the US point also. We have attorneys and paralegals that are working with us, so it doesn't just end. It's a team of people that are actually working. That if it's possible, I can get one of our applicants that could. I mean, there are too many people. I would not love people to tell their stories. Besides, we are talking about the U.S. permanent resident here. However, we process every other visas at Michelle J Consulting, but here we just want to concentrate on the O1 and the EB visa. So maybe okay, I'll just say, let me talk about there's this young man, there's a family, I don't know if it's here. When Kule met me in Lagos, he needed to leave to the US and with the family. And we talked, just like Blake said, the first thing is you need to know that this process works. And when he got in, I said, okay, based on your profile, this is the pathway that will suit you and your family. Because we want to look at pathway, it's not one size fits all. It's every individual. And so when I got to Kunle, and so Kunle told me, and he got into the US. And when he got into the US, the process that was supposed to use, and he visited a family friend. And and the family friend said, and he already paid the service charge until we're together with some things. And so the family friend said, oh, what kind of application is that? I've been in US for 10 years. I've never heard about that. Those guys want to scam you. And I mean, after like 2 days, he brought someone who he claims to be an FBI agent who told him that, who is that guy? And he kept calling me and say, this is what my in-law says. And the FBI agent says nothing like that. He says, don't worry, we are going to recover your money from that guy. And I was like, we've not had anything. But he was telling me he had to leave their home and believed in the process. As I speak with you, 1 year after Kule got his permanent residence, about 1.5 years after, with his wife and 3 children, and they already have their passport as I speak. They got into the US 6 years. I was in their home. I'll be attending the wife's 50th birthday here in Dallas, maybe in about 3 weeks. Now, there are lots of people like that with stories. They come into the US, the right path, and then get into the system. We are not saying that there are no other pathways, but for people that are professionals, this is about the best path. This is about the best path. We get into permanent resident directly. And that's why we're saying pre-qualify. You have a bachelor's degree, you are experienced, you have a particular area you think that you're good, just hit us up and Blake can talk to you and see how that goes.
All right. The number once again is +1 3 4 6 6 6 8 5 4 3 6. I'll take that number again. +1 3 4 6 6 6 8 5 4 3 6. This is for professionals. Stop jackpotting abroad with the wrong visa. Stop setting yourselves up. Do things the right way so that it may pay you off on the long run. Do you have anybody else we should bring?
Yeah, I mean, if you are here, I think I have a couple of guys. I mean, it's Akin here. I don't know if Akin is here. If Akin is here.
Akin, please send me a request.
And someone is chatting me, talking to me, and someone just sent me a message from Atlanta. Yeah, I saw that caller. If you are in the US, now there are some people who are already in the US on the wrong notes. You can still get that corrected. We can tell you, some people are here on the wrong notes. And the reason is this. My interest is to get you are going to pay for my service. That's the first thing. You pay for our service. The key thing is get it done. If you've ever been in the US, because I see a lot of people, for those of us that are immigrants here in the US, you find out that one thing that is the big issue is when people come here, settling in is a big issue, trying to get the right documentation because they didn't get the right information while they were coming. But what we are saying is some people still have they are still within the near, at the point where their situations can still be salvaged. We can still talk with our attorneys, besides talking to us, and then we'll tell you how to go. So let me see. I'm just trying to look at the comments. So if anyone is here, maybe you have taken, you have been in you have actually subscribed to any of our service, please just request to join. Let's just talk. That freeze. I think one of the things I see is this: Nigerians coming abroad is nothing wrong for those who may not be doing wonderfully well at home.
I agree with you totally.
Yeah, and there are some people who are doing what they are doing at home very well, and they can do it better over here.
Oh wow!
Example, like myself, there are certain things that the environment provides. I don't know. Let's not talk about the social amenities and all the rest. But for career, for people who are career driven, you want to really earn six. It's only here we talk about 6 figures, ITs. You know, I saw the payslip of a friend. He's a classmate. We attended the same school. He works, and the payslip was about $23,000 after tax.
Every month?
Yes.
No way.
In fact, he is a medical doctor. He trained in Nigeria. But you know the funny thing. He actually had to support me with that document for something, and he said, just keep this confidential. Now, I always say how many. You know, it's not to say that if he comes here, he's earning better, and those money, I'll tell you, 30% of those money comes back to Nigeria. Families, projects, and some other things. That's also remitting back. Yeah. I think I should have. Akin is not joining. Is no one? You're not getting.
What is? I'm not. I'm looking through it. What is Akin's handle?
Funny enough, I can't. I don't know people's handle.
Akin, please send me a request or chat in the comment section so I can invite you.
Chidi, is Chidi here?
Chidi, send me a request.
And I want to also talk a little about non-immigrant visa.
Okay.
Going to for non-immigrant visa in the US, which is like the visit visa and some other things, which are the consulates. You know, for anyone, the US is not very friendly with non-immigrant visa at the moment.
Now, what's the difference between non-immigrant visa and immigrant visa?
Non-immigrant visas are visas you want to come and then go back to your country. Example, the visit visa, the business visa, the student visa, some category of work visas are all non-immigrant. But some are assumed to be dual purpose visa. Dual purpose visas are like student visas.
So if somebody applies for a visa to come visiting the United States now, he might not get it.
The reason is there are tendencies that you may not come back owing to a lot of economic challenges. You don't have travel history. The intention of your visit is not really clear. And for anyone listening here, you know that if you've been to the U.S. consulate, maybe people like Blake who are Americans may not relate to that. The consular talks to you only for 2 or 3, or just 2-3 questions. It's done. So he's granting or denying your visa. The reason is just because most times when they go through your DS-160 form, it's already clear. Your intents are, consulars are psychologists. You are speaking, and if you've ever, you see them typing like computers. For every word you say in that interview, it's on the computer. And so, whether they grant or they refuse, and that is actually used to judge you in your subsequent application or renewals, as the case may be. So, for non-immigrant visas, be very careful. First-time travelers, except you have real good reasons, cogent reasons. But I want to go to Disney World, I mean, what's wrong with going first to O2 Arena in London? I mean, what's wrong? That's what America says. Have you been to somewhere before? So non-immigrant visas are here or there. But what we are talking this time is immigrant visas. And so immigrant visas, when you qualify, you are coming to live and work
in the United
United
States.
So
those ones are given preeminence.
not really preeminent, but what else than living? Like, for example, I know if you get a permanent resident, I know you are Romanian, so you got a Romanian passport. So if you get a permanent resident in the USA, for example, you don't want to leave. Probably you just want to come every 6 months to keep your permanent resident card off. Yeah. And just to address what somebody said, and I heard Blake say you must be a star. Maybe you must be Burna Boy or Whiskey. No. I mean, those ones qualify at EB1 because they've got Grammy. A Grammy is enough. It's just one award that is enough to give you an EB1. But that's why you find out in the EB1, they say if you cannot show one-time acclaim, they have 10 criteria, and they say we need you to get 3 out of 10. And so what we try to do is to get our applicants to hit those 3 cogent points of the entire requirements that are given, whether for the EB1 or EB2.
All right. You said you were bringing someone.
We could have any other person join. I don't know if people. I know a number of persons. Like for me, I was actually thinking, how do I join this live? I was trying to call you, but we could bring anybody on. Maybe someone that has a question or anything like that.
Anybody that has a question, I'm just sending requests to everyone. If you have a question, maybe you're in the UK, you want to move over.
There are a lot of misconceptions, and I can help you tell you this is what it is. Yeah.
So, guys, please feel free to come in and ask for your questions. All right, somebody has joined us. Go ahead. Hello? This person is at an event.
Hey, sorry, guys.
Awesome. Go ahead.
Yeah, this is.
Hey.
I know.
Sorry.
This is one of our applicants. This is one of the persons I brought into the US. How many years? You're in California, isn't it?
Yeah. I'm in Northern California.
Yeah. Mine's an architect.
I'm an architect, yeah. How are you?
I'm good, bro. I'm good.
Blake, how you doing?
I'm doing great. How about yourself?
I'm good. Good to have you guys here. So, about Lucky, my experience with him has been very, very fantastic. I remember the first time I came to the US, and I was in New York with my family. We came on a vacation, and we spoke, and he's in Houston. I said, okay, I'm in New York. He said, am I planning to go back? I said, yes. He said, there's a way you can settle here legally with your family. I said, really? How's that possible? He said, okay, come to Houston. So I flew my family to Houston from New York, and we met with Lucky. Some people call him Felix. And from there, like, joke, tidied up everything, put into documentation, and voila. My family got accepted, so I came back to Nigeria. When I saw the way Nigeria was going, and I was like, man, I had to just relocate, I called him, and he put everything together too, and here I am. So I'm practicing here in the US. My team, you can see, one of them is retired, right there. So we're having a get-together for him. So I've introduced more than 10 people to him, and no one has come back with a single regret or bad news. And everybody got accepted clearly, legally.
That legally means a long means a lot to.
Huge emphasis on the legally.
And
I'm practicing my field as an architect.
It's not like you are watching Pint of Olosho.
See, if I show you where I did, see, now let me be the blackie with here. I'm the only black guy in my midst.
Oh, more.
I'm telling you, corporate America, Northern California. So, I mean, you can't beat that. You can't.
Huh. Oh, more, I fear. Lucky now, so you get luck, Rich.
No, Lucky is it's somebody I can recommend 247 anytime.
Lucky Luciano.
So, I've been waiting on this before I came to join my team. So, I don't know if you guys, I just needed to I saw that, I was called on and I had to quickly jump off. Okay. But Lucky, I bet on him anytime. He's very, very, very meticulous about documentation. He is detailed. He knows how to put all these things together to make sure that, if he's not sure that you go through, he's not going to take it. I've seen people have recommended to him and he will tell me, "Ma, this one no go work." You know? And I just tell those guys, sorry, there's no show for you. But if he says this will go, 100%. 100%. And everybody that I've introduced to him, more than 10, almost 20 or so. And I know a lot of other guys in Houston, in Dallas. I was in Dallas. When it was coming to Dallas, I was supposed to be in Dallas, but I couldn't make it. So my family is in Dallas, but I'm in Northern California. So that's it for you. So I recommend him. He's not somebody who talks something and he doesn't do it. No. If Lucky gives you his word, go to sleep. You can bank on that. So,
Lucky. Lucky, this one we just open mouth, put for ground. What's happen? Lucky? Can somebody wake Lucky up? I think I need to remove him so he can come back. So your experience with Lucky, you say, was seamless.
Seamless. No, very seamless. Seamless. Very, very seamless. You don't even have to stress yourself. Just do what it tells you to do. Bring the document it tells you to bring. And that's it.
Yeah, sorry, I didn't know I was off.
You don't do like this. We can't be fear. So whether that pastor where they carry gun, show you gun.
Anyway, I just saw it. As I see the thing, I see. Do they license handguns in Nigeria?
I don't know. No talk about that. More talk about what's carry us. Come, I just jab you.
Because all of us we day here now, we day are Yankee. You know when they talk about gun,
GUN, just call on GUN. May they no go blacklist our life.
The GUN. I know all of us we day here fish shoot. But most times, people they talk at me, just the one that when I go to the I see, they see the thing like that. There was one small incident that happened in my neighborhood where I live in KD. In less than 10 minutes, at the freeze, a helicopter don't they hover around my community. 2 helicopters, say the guy escaped. I say this one I just one small community. So maybe you can go off Ima. So Blake, I think Blake has some stuff. Blake, we can actually get on with your other stuff.
All right, Blake, go ahead.
We're booking a meeting with you. Thank you.
Maybe or you have something to say in conclusion.
Blake, don't go. This our guy waiting me name. Tell us to make it off.
Ima, please can you off your mic? That if you remove him as a noise.
If I remove him, I will not be able to bring Blake back. Ima. Let me remove him, but if I remove him, he will block that space. All right, I've removed him, but the problem with removing him is I might not be able to bring him back. Are you here, Lucky?
Yeah, I'm here. I'm here.
All
So,
right, Lucky.
that freeze. One thing is this. As a practicing IT, one of the things I have noticed is the opportunities for most of us in tech who will migrate to some of these places, and I think I want to encourage people to take the opportunity. Yeah, I'm not.
Brother, how you doing? You know this gentleman?
Yeah.
Hello?
Hey, bro, how you doing? Go ahead.
Daddy Freezer, hello.
Now you introduce me to Ima. I mean, I said to Ima to Lucky.
Yeah.
Lucky, yeah.
He's not my brother.
Lucky is my brother now.
As in blood brother.
Yeah.
Yes, now. Lucky is my direct elder.
And now to carry you go this abroad where you did.
Yeah, so I was trying to rush home so I could settle down.
Lucky, that means say your whole village don't already did this America. Or this one where you don't help everybody finish.
Oh, no, I'm not in America. I'm in the UK.
And now Lucky still do am.
No, Daddy Freeze. Lucky now, our Jesus. Lucky is the full family Jesus. My friends and a couple of my friends and all of that.
Let's talk about other persons rather than family. Yes, family will look too sentimental. But I mean,
Baba, person they say heaven, Abi, charity begins at home. You won't help people, you never help your own family. I've sent it.
That is, I have a very big community in the UK of people, and I can tell you of that large community that have actually migrated through me, none of them can be complaining. I'm saying that the UK is one city that is really tough, but so many people go to the UK without understanding the pathway. You want to stay in the UK, study visa will not give you that. Some of the COS most of you get are not even guaranteed. And sometimes it's not. Most of the COS, and sometimes when I look at everybody want to go for care, is that the only job available? I mean, you can migrate right. My brother is there in the UK. None of them actually did anything that has to do with care. They all have their leave to remain. Less than how long? I mean, I don't know if I'm not used to audible.
Why do they call you immortal?
Daddy Freeze, I'm an events person. I've been into show business for about, I think it should be about 19 years now. I do show promotion and all of that. I've been doing that all along in Nigeria, and that's what I do here as well. It's better here.
So tell us a little bit about your own story and how your brother came through for you.
Well, Daddy Freeze, my story in a long one, it's been, it was a bit difficult in Nigeria at a point, I was in Port Harcourt when he just was like, guy, go travel. I said, anyways, I like to travel, but it's a bit difficult. But one way or the other, it happened, and so far so good. I need to stop to talk because I'm on the road. So far so good.
I'm bringing you.
And
what's your handle? Okay, go ahead.
You said I should bring in Kiru.
Since then, it's been good. It's been good. Can you hear me?
Please, 88.
I know the hear on again. Hello?
We can hear you.
We can hear you.
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Go ahead. Continue, Immortal.
Okay, yeah. So I was saying that it's been good. I decided to come up because I was reading some things in the comment section. Somebody was saying I was like, this guy don't know my brother. I need to come up and talk about him because he's been into this stuff, and I don't even want to talk about myself. I want to talk about some other people he has done this for. My friends.
my friends and even my enemies join self, you know. It's been good. I'm not, just like you said, make it not be like I said I didn't blow my brother trumpet, but you know, if we don't blow our trumpet, who go blow them for you now? You know, you have to give people their flowers when they deserve it or when they are alive and all that. That's what we're doing this. So I mean, it's been good. It's been good. Sorry?
I mean, before Nkiru speaks, I mean, what would you say? I mean, what's the difference with your experience and other people who migrated like you to the UK? I mean, some are studying, some are on COS. What would you say has been the difference in their experiences?
Sorry, I didn't get that. Sorry.
I mean,
what would you say is different between your experience and the regular UK immigrant experience?
Oh yeah, Daddy Freeze, I can tell you, you see, people may not believe, but that's just the truth. When people say that I come UK, man, I did so far, you know, Daddy Freeze, I listen to you a lot. I've been following you for all my life, and I watch your life, and I hear where people say too many things, and I laugh. I keep wondering, how come we not be like that? Our case is not that suffering case. So I got to understand that it depends on how you migrate. That's what determines exactly how you live and how you do your things. That's what I think. So because my case is basically different. All this, we can't suffer, we can't do care job, we can't do that thing, we can't do that has never been my case. And you know, it's been good all the way. That's just the truth. You know, I don't want to talk too much. Maybe
let's hear.
Some other people will be saying, "Look, you don't do things for." They are here now. They can say it, man. They can say it. You know, but that the freeze of the truth. I don't know why. The EB thing they're talking about, that's America. I don't know about that. But I mean, I'm just here to really talk about my brother. My brother has been doing this for a while now, and I used to know him as an IT person, but all of a sudden I can't see migration, and it's been 100%. It's been 100%. Trust me, that's just it. And he's been doing it great. Everything has been going well, and yeah, I know they suffer. I don't know how other people they see him, and my other siblings that are here, you know, trust me, Luck is doing well. Luck is doing well. The man they try.
Nkiru, bend your phone like this. You have bent to one side.
I'm actually on my iPad and I don't know how to.
Okay, just turn it like this.
Now the freeze I will come out now.
All right, Immortal.
Yeah,
that's upside down. Yes, that's perfect. It's fine like that. It's fine.
Yeah.
All right, Nkiru, go ahead. We can see you now.
Yes, Lucky's brother is saying, I don't know about care job. I'm doing a care job in Germany. I mean, I'm schooling and then doing a care job while I study. Actually migrated last year through MJC Consultants. That's the Lucky's company. And of the truth, I would say for free that he's the kind of person that will tell you that you need to do this, do ABC, and then your visa will be approved. And I want to point out something. I mean, I've been reading the comment section all along. That people have been saying, oh, I beg, they just a wine, the guy just do marketing and all of that. He's actually not doing marketing. He tells you the truth. He tells you what you need to do for your visa to be approved. I mean, take for instance, someone wants to go to America, and then you go to the American embassy with your virgin passport. They tell you your visa has been denied. In 2024, you come in 2025, you go back to the same American embassy with that same virgin passport, and you still want to go to the same America. Before I even came to Germany, I've been to almost 20 African countries. We have 50 countries in Africa. And I have been to almost 20. I've been to Dubai for a couple of times. I've been to the Maldives. Do you understand? So for someone like me, if I go to the embassy, they might look at it and say, okay, this person has been to A, B, C, and D, and they came back to their country. So if this person is given this opportunity because they said they want to go and travel and, sightseeing, that's what we always say. I mean, for instance, you want to go to America, you say you want to go to Disney World, you want to travel, you just want to see America and come back. And they're looking at you. They know that you're not going to come back. and you haven't even proven to them in any way that you're going to come back because you came with a virgin passport. Your visa was rejected in 2024. You came back in 2025 with the same virgin passport. Even Cotonou, you know, go. Ordinary Cotonou, you go just cross border, enter, stamp your passport, and come back. You didn't even do any of that. And then you still expect the embassy to give you visa. And you say you're a traveler, you like to travel, I like to visit, oh, I want to go and do sightseeing. Why you not go sightseeing for Cotonou? The Cotonou not get where they go to sightseeing for.
Joy.
So what I'm trying to say is, my experience with MJC Consultant has been very good. And for a fact, before they told me like, okay, when your visa is approved, that's when you get to pay. I didn't pay. The only thing I paid was the visa application fee and then the administration fee to get your documents and everything in order. So until your visa comes out, that's when you pay them. Unlike so many people that I know that have, I mean, if you go to most of the agents and all of that, they tell you, oh, we are going to give you your visa. They will tell you the amount of money you're going to bring. At the end of the day, your visa is rejected. And the money you paid is gone. So these people will tell you when your visa is approved, that's when you get to pay us. Don't even pay us anything. Just go pay your visa application form. And when you come back and your visa is approved, you pay us.
And
that's why I trust them.
Just before you go on, you know that the priest, and you know the money you paid, we still didn't receive it.
You did not receive it.
What happened?
September, right?
Yeah. No, something happened.
I'll pay you in euro, don't worry.
No, it's not even that. You know, it's funny. What happened about Nkiru's visa is that when Nkiru's visa was approved and she needed to pay, she was asking, where do I pay the money? And we said, okay, pay to our Heritage Bank. On Sunday evening, Nkiru transferred the money. Yeah. Monday morning announcement was that Heritage Bank does not exist no more. Hundreds of thousands, not even in millions. We don't open accounts or Michelle J Consulting account. NDIC says they will give the money. The hundreds of thousands are still stuck. They said they will automatically. We never still received the money till today. The money that was stuck in. We were banking with Heritage Bank at them.
Hey, Nkiru, after you don't chop the visa finish, you don't want to come pay Osho free, Nkiru.
The money left our account, but the money we still.
That's your own account.
Yeah. And but that's just by the way. But Nkiru.
But that's not Nkiru's fault, Cha.
No, I'm just definitely Nkiru.
But Nkiru feel just sharp. Nkiru feel just tell you say she pay, make she no pay.
I know I paid.
Make she can't say, well, the bank has folded up. Nkiru, what part of Nigeria are you from?
I'm from Imo State. I'm Igbo.
I'm suspecting her. Not them.
No.
Nkiru, what city are you?
I'm in Munich. München. We call it München.
Which one is München? It's not Munich.
Munich is English. München is Deutsch.
Okay, so it's München.
Yes.
I thought you were acting like my brothers and sisters that don't know how to pronounce things well. Actually, now we don't know what's in the happen. Hey. To read book good, oh.
Germany is English. Deutsch is Deutsch.
Let me ask you a question. Do you speak Deutsch?
Ambition. A little.
That means you are learning. Hey, Omo. See, as Nkiru don't turn citizen of another country. We still there here. They look ourselves for mirror.
Yeah, Nkiru is doing well in Germany, and Nkiru went through some kind of medical operation lately, and I was like, Nkiru, what if this had happened in Nigeria?
Yeah.
Nkiru, what happened to you that you needed surgery? You know me, I will ask question.
But that's a true story because back in Nigeria, before I even traveled, I went for medicals. I did a lot of tests, and they said nothing. I mean, everything came out clean. I came here and then did some series of tests, and after a while, they told me there's a tumor in my. Yes, they told me there's a tumor
in your body.
No, my left ovaries.
Okay, I don't want you to be. I wanted to say it before you, so you're not going.
No.
You not go and say the BR word. You know, women they quick can have it in my. Uh-huh.
No.
So what
It
happened?
was then they
Did they
discovered.
check your ovary?
Yes, they did, and said there's a tumor, and they don't even know what it is. And as a Nigerian, I say, don't be normal fibroid when Nigerian women they get. Don't worry, I'll go use and go shrink up. They said no. The doctor was like, the female doctor, she was like, no, this is not fibroid, and I have done a fibroid operation a couple of times, and this is not it. I did a couple of tests, MRs, and I was always like in the hospital. And then me, I kept on as Nigerian. I was like, hey, nothing they do me. Until I went to the hospital for the final test, and the doctor said, you're not leaving today. We have to operate on you. And that's how. And when each time they check, they say it's growing. So I'm wondering, why didn't they see it in Nigeria? Because I did the test.
Now, was it malignant?
So that's what they're still trying to ascertain.
Okay, that means they are doing a biopsy.
Yes, they're still doing a biopsy on it. And I did the surgery last month. I mean, they always send me emails like, okay, we're still doing a biopsy on it. We're still trying to know what it is, because they couldn't.
Did they remove your ovary? Or
they had to take everything out.
I hope not both ovaries, though.
No. They just took out the left one.
Doctor.
Do you know, when I was in surgery, they had to like mid-surgery, because the doctor told me like that's the worst case scenario. So mid-surgery, they had to wake me up, took me off the anesthesia, and then the doctor said, we have to take out your left ovaries. And they had to give me paper to sign. I had to say, like, okay. I mean, so they did it, and then he now said, when you finish, they have to do the biopsies and then ascertain exactly what.
How old are you, Nkiru?
Wow, Daddy, please.
Sorry, I ask all the questions in the world. Don't be angry.
No.
Okay, I'll call you one-on-one. We'll gist.
Anyway, so,
I love the fact that you're honest, and you see, whether you tell the story or not, somebody is going to be inspired. There's somebody that ovary thing will hook in this Nigerian, and I ain't go buy him.
Yes, exactly.
She has access to insurance, and in the whole world, Germany is rated as one of the best places for healthcare.
I didn't pay a dime. I didn't pay. The German government paid for it. They gave a letter to the hospital and said, yes, we're taking care of this. It's not like normal regular insurance that you go with, because even I had the normal regular insurance, and the hospital at that time said, this insurance is not going to cover it. We need more. So I had to write to the government. I'm like, okay, this is what is happening, blah, blah, blah. They now said, okay, we're going to send them a letter. They sent them a letter, and I got operated on. They even saw that letter. They were like, okay, so we have to start now.
Okay, now I want to ask you. I want you to tell me your story from what you were doing in Nigeria to where you are now in Germany, and what it took to get there, and your status in Germany right now, so that the Mugu that is listening at home that wants to argue will have something to argue with his leprosy hand or wadete when he wants to start typing in the comment section. So please, my darling, go ahead.
So in Nigeria, I am a broadcast journalist.
How come I don't know you?
Well, I didn't work with the mainstream media that we all know. I worked with Super Screen. I worked with MITV. And then...
The bad in your cars.
What did you say?
The bad in your cars.
Bad in your cars.
The owners of MITV. Busari.
Is it Busari or... what's his name now?
Muri.
You should know them.
Muri, yes. Muri.
I know them. I know the family.
I don't know them. It's just I worked with them for a while. I think about a year or so. And then before then, I also schooled in Benin Republic. That's where I got my BSc in journalism. I worked there for a little bit, then came back to Nigeria and then started working. So even Lucky told me that this visa is actually the what do you call it again? The EB visa. He said if I was still in Nigeria, I would have qualified, because I've also managed a TV station, an online TV station, Oxford TV in Nigeria. Yeah. And then I just wanted, at some point, I just wanted more. From back in 2020, I think during the COVID, I had a few consultations with FJC, that's Lucky and his team. I was always telling you, I want to travel. He said, you're traveling well. You're going to African countries, you've been here, you've been there. Yes, but you need to also still build more on your you need to build on your application so that whenever you apply to go to either Canada or US or any of these other countries, you would be granted a visa. So I did that consultation, and then he told me, not yet, just keep building on it. So in 2024, I now said, okay, look at this is what I've done so far. Do you think I qualify for any of these visas? He now said, okay. So I now said, I actually want to do a visit visa. I want to tour Europe. So I said I just want to do at least a visit visa to Europe. If you get a Schengen visa, you're already touring about how many countries. So that was the whole plan. I wanted to do that. Before I even got there, I already made I consulted with some people here if I can get a job when I get here. So, but they told me that I need to have B2. I know they talk about B2, B2 in German for me to get a job here. So, but they said if I get here, there's so many things you can do to be able to, for you to stay. You get. So, Lucky helped me a lot. They got me the visa. They didn't just get me the visa. They got me the visa and still helped me out here. They talked to some people he already knows here who called me and said, okay, this is what you need to do. So the moment you get here, you need to start school. So the moment I got here, I started school immediately. And funny enough now, the German government is paying for my accommodation. They are paying for me to go to school. Like I also said, they paid for the surgery that cost thousands of euros. They paid for that too.
Before you go on, that refers there's Wale Buster One. This is someone that came in. Wale works with Bank of America. We should be joining. My story.
What is Wale's handle?
Wale Buster One. My Yoruba brother. And so, one thing about
Yoruba demon, like Daddy Freeze.
One thing about Nkiru's story for me was I was just wondering, and when Nkiru had that surgery and I saw the picture, I was like, what if
Nkiru, you did not send me the picture of the surgery.
What if you were in Nigeria? So I was like, what would have happened? Where would you have gotten this kind of resources? Where would you have done this? Where would you have done that? But I'm really happy. Nkiru is fine. She's hosted me on her live program in Nigeria, and that's it. So Nkiru, thank God you are alive. Maybe if you I don't know what
in Nigeria, the money wouldn't even have been the problem. The problem would have been, would you survive it? That's the problem. Even if you have the money for the surgery, would you survive? That's the question.
Now, but question, no. Because you get as my Niger brothers and sisters, they do their own. Everything will just confuse you.
I heard recently that they use YouTube to operate on the woman, who was giving birth and the woman didn't make it.
YouTube.
Yes, bro.
The doctor was he was watching YouTube to know how to do the surgery. YouTube was his guide. Well, in all things, give thanks to God.
Yeah. Wale is here. Wale is one of the persons. Wale is in I'm in Dallas.
Fine boy, Wale.
We have some time. We have some time out today in Dallas. I visit Dallas once a while. I've got a couple of them. After I got them into Houston in the US, because we had a large community, including Agrima, who talked the other time, they left me in Houston and they're in Dallas. Some are in New York. If he's in New York, I don't know if he's going to come up here. Wale has been a friend for a long time. And, the way we have been IT colleagues. Wale is just saying, IT, how have you enjoyed IT? They have been in US for a while. And these are the ones practicing IT and cybersecurity person.
More.
Oh.
Hi, Wale. How are you doing? Let's hear from you, brother.
Okay, so my name is Wale, and myself and Lucky have been a friend a very long time. Let me say a childhood friend, and it's been a very long journey. And then Dallas, they've been a very good friend, and Lucky has been just like the one of his brothers said, he's been the Jesus of the family. And I would say not just the Jesus of the family, he's been the Jesus for people around him. Like when I know him, every time we meet, we discuss. I think I get motivated every time we meet, every time we discuss, every time we meet. So he's been a very, very fantastic in what he's doing. And then a couple of friends that I've referred to him as well that has brought down to United States. And I could tell you vividly that almost every one of them are right now, almost every one of them are either on green card or they're either on green card or they're either on citizen. So he's been a very fantastic person, and then he's just I would say he's a Jesus to me too.
Well, I think what's important for me, and I want other people listening here to know is what you're doing in the US. I know, for most people, when you see people who come to the US, one of the things that's coming to the minds of people is that it's not really easy to get into corporate America. Corporate America, just like in my field, just now, the number of people was actually with some white guy. You used to be, I think you just told me you left Bank of America recently and with another client. So maybe your background and how you see the American, for professionals, Nigerians like you.
Well, I think when it comes to when it comes to Nigerian doing very fine in United States, I have to tell you 100% fact. I can tell you Nigeria are really doing fine in United States, 100% fact. And like me, I work remotely. I'm working from home right now. I don't want to show my screen because of it's kind of confidential, but I will tell you vividly that Nigeria are doing really great when it comes to professionalism. I've had majority, like me, I started so long when I joined IT as an entry level. I'm a professional in Nigeria, right? But when I came in here, I have to start it from, when you come in, even if you are a professional, you are the consultant, you have to come into American system as a beginner. So when I came in, and to the glory of God, right now, I was a consultant, senior cybersecurity consultant with Bank of America. Not until last year, September, and I just feel like, man, I got to move. Then right now I'm in West Fargo as a senior cybersecurity consultant. Then I think Nigerians are really, and when one of the people, I work right now. I work in West Fargo right now. I
from bank to bank.
Yes,
is the largest bank in the US.
And then one thing is, once you create a profile for yourself, it's very easy for you to navigate within those. And then for each time you move, you get a pay rise. That's what motivates you. That's just one thing about America.
Yeah, that's the interesting thing. Yeah,
and then majority of people that if you work in corporate environment, Nigeria earns 6 figures. In fact, when I get to the office, when I resume the job, the first thing you see within that environment is the Asians and the Nigerians. Nigerians really very fantastic when it comes to IT job. I get a couple of friends that I myself have even introduced into that environment, and Nigeria are really making us proud. We can't do without the merit side of it. People who makes Nigeria not proud, but when it comes to the IT and medical, I can tell you Nigeria are earning so fine in the United States. We are doing so fine. We are doing so great. We are making Nigeria proud. And that's one of those things that I was so happy aligning with Lucky, because most of those candidates he brought in here, they come in, majority of them, some of them are working in different IT. I have a couple of them working with Deloitte, couple with different kind of environment. They are doing really fine. And when you see Nigerians, I think I can tell you, let me say a large number of Nigerians, I don't want to put in percentage, but a large number of Nigerians earn 6 figures. And I think when it comes to 6 figures, there is difference between 6 figures.
Yeah, I understand.
You can get like 150 annual, and I have a friend who earned about $500,000 on a salary basis.
Let's not go there. I just talked about someone earning that's going to almost 300 to 400. I've had offers at advisory level in IT in firms that are really high. But the good thing about anyone for me is just America should be, if it's not US, then that's when you think about somewhere else. But when it has to do with career, I've not seen a country that has, for immigrants, that have equal opportunities like America. There is no country. I've been to the UK, I've been to Canada. There is no country that has equal opportunities, especially in the area of STEM, like the US. And that's why it's easy for people. When you mingle with people who are actually getting into the corporate space, you get in there. And I'm sure that, just like Wale will say, Wale did not jump into the corporate space the first month he got in. Maybe after like 6 months or so. The most important thing is getting the right direction, the right guide, migrating the right way. There was a time I said something. I was saying to people, if you get a visa to the US, to UK or Canada, don't travel except you talk to me. Now, it's not because I want to charge you. I want to ask, what's your intent? Many people have intentions to stay, but they don't have the right plan. There is no pathway to get to the end. And so they get there with kids. I mean, there are people in Canada who are actually crying and suffering more than those in Nigeria. Why? Because they spent all. They didn't get the right guidance into what visa application and what programs they need to go. So many people are stuck in the UK, and that's why I'm advising some of them. You have the masters, and then you are also trying to get the COS. The US is open if you've got skill, most especially if it's in the area of STEM. Is it science? Is it related to technology, engineering, or medicals, or possibly management? But there must be some bit of exceptional abilities, and that's where Blake comes in to see that some of those things adds up for it to work.
And quick one, Lucky. One of the best thing about American is that you don't really have to be you don't need to go into IT. You don't really have to be a BSc holder. You could be, most time they recognize the certification so much. So
yeah,
you can prove you have certification, a valid certification, and then I can tell you, if I've not been to America, I don't think I'll be to any other country. And then the best country in the world where you have equal opportunity is the United States of America. And that's why America are so proud of it. They don't feel like we don't want just to have every other person other than people who are exceptionals. And that's one thing I'm so happy about, the kind of category of people Luck is bringing in, because the at least we can say in Dallas, we have a large number of Nigerian community that are doing so well, and then we have a number of people that we can say, oh, these are from Lucky, even a couple of them. So it's kind of very interesting to have him doing this kind of thing and to help people, not just come in here. A lot of people come in here these days, but you keep having it. But I can tell you, America is just the best country in the world.
Yeah, and specifically with us, we don't only provide American visas, but what we are talking about here is about the American EB1 and EB2. And I want to say for people listening now, also, right here, I'm part of an NGO, L Foundation. We have a summer program that we're running for AI. It's called AI for Teens. And it's being powered from here, in which it's a 2-week program where kids between the age of 14 to 18, but it's just going to be only 10 kids. Now we have a center in Lagos, one in Abuja, one in London, one in Toronto, and 2 in the US here. Now, what are we trying to do with this kids? Because that's my specialty, AI. AI is taking the world, and for people who really want to learn, especially for teens. Like my little boy is really crazy about it, and it's one of those things. And I see that when people grab some of those things early, it's really easy for them to chart a career. And so, in L Foundation, for some people who are listening here, it's a free program. It's completely free, but kids we have to be pre-qualified. If you want to know about that, you can tell me. It's within the holidays season. It's just going to be 1 week where they have to come in and learn this. They will collaborate. So we have both the kids from the US are going to be collaborating with those in Nigeria, London, and Toronto. So we have centers in each of these places that actually volunteer to give us their spaces to run this program. Lagos is going to be somewhere in the mainland, and in Abuja it's going to be somewhere in West. So you may have kids between the ages of 14 to 18. They can apply into this program and really get into AI. And like I always tell anybody, basically, if there's anybody listening to this live and you are not using ChatGPT, you're only shortchanging yourself. You are only shortchanging yourself if you're not using ChatGPT. And that's why, like, most times when I get to my staff, I say, you can't work with me if you don't use ChatGPT. Because there's a lot that ChatGPT can do, so start from where it ends. Intelligence today, where we are actually getting is human intelligence. Artificial intelligence, all we just need to know is how do we know the best prompts to give to the AI that can give us the best results. With a lot of agentic AI being developed, AI is just the future. AI is now. AI is taking everything. And it applies to what anybody is doing now. It's applied. If you look at what a legal practitioner, like, okay, I'll tell you a story. When I was in Canada, while I was having my postgraduate program during COVID, I had a problem with my landlord. I was renting a house in Markham, that's the city in Toronto. So my landlord took me to court because then students have to come and they need to transit through my house. So I rented a house, even if it was just me alone because my family was in the US. And my landlord sent me an eviction notice. I needed to do a number of things in court and other things. But do you believe that what I needed a lawyer for, this was 2 years ago, I didn't get a lawyer. I got an AI application that for legal process. Do you know that I filed my case with the New Market Court in Toronto without a lawyer? All the legal documents were prepared in relation to my case. At the end of the day, when it's time for the hearing, the adjudication, my landlord changed attorney 3 times. AI was my attorney.
Hey!
AI was what I used. I filed everything. But do you know that when we're hearing this now in Canada, we were hearing online. So I was in the US when the case was called up to be heard. Now, I was able to create a stop order. I was able to file a stop. I forgot what these things were called. AI guided me and I filed in the court. And they stopped that eviction until I was able to go. I now filed, not just when I was able to go, I read some things and I realized that I could file for damages. I didn't get to any lawyer. I didn't consult any. I filed in the court. I filed a case against my landlord for intruding into my space to say some people are living with me. When we got to the hearing, I was actually afraid. I know my wife was there. I had one senior attorney. They said we should go and talk before they heard the case. Funny enough, my landlord, the attorney said, we are going to settle out of court. We'll pay you $3,000. That was me and AI against a landlord with 3 attorneys. And I was paid, settled out of court. So I had nothing. There's nothing. I've never been for any, besides immigration. What is about maybe tenant landlord? We went to the bureau. And that's what AI can do. And so when I see somebody trying to do a design, you need to start from where AI ends. So why are you doing what AI can do? So that's why I keep preaching to everyone that you are an HR person. There's something about AI that will help in talent management. You are a business person. There's something. I have an application that can combine the entire social media. You can imagine an application that combines TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, X, all in one platform. You can post on one point and it goes to all the social media handles. And it's not delivered, it's delivered in the way that that particular social media platform will want it. So, AI has done a lot. And I just encourage people to say, don't be too late. Don't be too late when it has to do with AI. I'm an IT person, and everything is embedded around that today. So there are lots of opportunities, people, and you can study for AI. Like one of the schools, I'm attached to Texas Business School, and Texas Business School push things like AI, and that's why one of the things we're trying to tell some of those people who want to migrate is look for courses or things related to AI. Those are things that will go a long way to help. Those are priorities so far as the United States is concerned. Yeah, I've received so many messages on my WhatsApp. I would respond to you guys. I know some people are really hitting hard, but I'll respond to you after the live.
All right, guys. So I think we're going to draw a close right here. This has been so informative. I can't believe AI won against 3 lawyers. Where this world they go?
Yeah, that if I had defined the rule, in fact, everything's still there. And you see, there is just you can be everything. You can don't take AI lightly. For anyone who is here, I mean, don't look at it from the perspective of what for us who are enterprise application consultants who are talking about design agentic AI. No, just look at there are lots of applications that AI has that is applicable to what you're doing now and that can make it so easy. If you don't know, ask somebody. It can enhance whatever you're doing now. And that's it. And that's also a strong priority in the US government. AI. Japanese bank have just imputed 300 billion. Saudi Arabia 600 billion. Most of these things are going into the development of AI. And also, when you look at the US government, it's also good to understand the trajectory of where the US government is talking. Because when they are trying to bring in permanent residents, it must be in line with certain needs from the economy, certain areas that would make US stand out. So what I'm saying to everybody, you can get a US permanent resident if you qualify either through the EB1 or EB2, O1A or O1B. So once you chat, I will send you to the appropriate person. For some of us, we can talk. If you live in the US, yes, still talk to me. There could be a relief for you. And you may just be thinking, is this right? Is this not right? Because there are lots of unfounded rhetorics about what is happening in the US. Trump and deportation, which are not really founded on anything, and especially for most of us who are Africans. I mean, you've not committed a crime, you are afraid. You may have a pending application, you are afraid. Even if you don't have a pending application, I mean, you don't have any reason to be afraid. I just want to tell every Nigerian, but you have to be afraid if you're a criminal. If you've committed a crime in the US, that's when you'll be afraid. And the US has zero tolerance for crime at the moment. The Trump administration does not want to tolerate crime. And that's why there are some people, as of today, there was someone who went for naturalization. He was to go and get his passport. And they found in his record, as at the time he got his permanent residence, he had an offense, I think with police in Iowa. And ICE, Immigration and Customs Enforcement, knows he was coming for his naturalization to become a citizen. And they arrested him. You have a warrant that is pending 3 years ago, and you want to come and be citizen. And they carried him back. And when he got there, they revoked the permanent residence because he has crime.
But what crime did he commit?
Now, you see, most of these crimes, they are crimes of rape, crimes of...
okay, RAP, just because... okay.
Most of the people that are targeted in the US that are more of... how many Africans got into the US without a visa? Just very few. Now, do you know that there are people in America? America does not have their data. They came through the borders. And that's why Trump is saying register. So there are people in America. America is not heaven. So there are still people who they don't know they are in America. And so these kind of people, it's only when they commit crime they get into government system. And when they get into government system, sometimes they deport them, and they come back. They deport them, they come back. But what we are saying is that there is a short pathway, and MJC and GMDL is here for you. Yeah, thank you, Daddy Freeze.
You are most welcome. Let me give out the number to people. It's +1 34 666 85436. I'll give you the number again. +1 34 666 85436. You want to talk to Lucky and get lucky? Remember, it's up to you. You have to be qualified. You have to have the paperwork. You have to have something about you. This is for professionals only. It is not automatic. This is not for organizer. This is not for car wash in Dubai. I remember one guy that was doing car wash in Dubai. He wanted to migrate to Canada using professional. Baba, no, this is not for you. Just wash that car. Wash it well. Oh yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah. You never wash behind the tire. Just wash that car. Nothing do you. But if you're a professional, especially if you are a celebrity or you're into STEM, or there's something remarkable that you have done, I think you might just give Lucky a call and see if this is for you. Some things don't work for everybody. But you see the number of people that came and gave testimony about Lucky. They even, me, I don't know who is Jesus. It's Yahushua. That's the real name of the Savior.
I mean, Yahushua, yeah.
That's what they call him. In French, say, this guy now our own Yeshua. Him brother come talk the same thing. He say even their enemy self, you don't carry them go. Say as they dey like this, if you go their village, go Lucky village. You say Lucky, you go here Lucky. The whole village don't empty. They dey America, they dey Canada, they dey UK.
Even family they pay. Yes, now make it get. See, it's about the results. Many people they maybe say that they cry today. They got their fingers burnt. They ever meet somebody, they pay some millions. They pay people where they do travel today now. People who try travel, they don't get visa. They don't turn agents.
They don't turn agents.
Yes, there are many people. I mean, see, talk to people who are knowledgeable. Talk to people who have information. That's why it's hard for me to read. See, vulcanizers get people where they relate to, and I still relate to them. We have some kind of visa packages for people who don't have those qualifications. But you see, for me in person, I relate more to people who are in the corporate space to some extent. You worked on, when you understand. Let's talk about, you understand documentation. Maybe I want visa. Some people they don't want care. They don't even know anything. No. We don't work with such people. It's not, and some people will bring people say, "I'm the agent. I get person." No, we don't work with agents because the applicant must sign. We have agreements, legal agreements for everything we do. So you may not have somebody. We must be able to talk with that person because that's the person that is trying to get the visa. So thank you, Daddy Freeze.
Thank you once again, Lucky. The number is +1 34 666 85436. I'll give you that number again. +1 34 666 85436. Nakam one phone call. Bam one text message. Gideon one WhatsApp. Say Lucky. 4 months from now, I want to see myself in American soil. May the process start.
Very possible.
It is possible.
There are some people listening to me now. If they have those, they have the.
That means say some people when they listen to us now, if we do Christmas for Yankee,
it's very because it's if on EB1 premium processing in less than 2 months.
That means say as you did the rumpa for Nigeria like this, your own don't spoil here. Even madman when they look for road, you walk up past and look, you say, hey, yeah. Remember when madman greet you, hey, yeah, you know, say your own don't reach. I'm like, you fall like this. Person where they crazy say, ekbeleo. Just know say your own don't spoil finish. But from where you are spoil finish to America before Christmas, so tell you go they dance for Times Square for New York with them this Christmas. The Lucky say they possible. I don't know whether it possible. No be me talk am on a Lucky hold am. In number now +1 34 666 85436. Get a pen and a paper. Don't say you did not hear. Final time I call out the number +1 34 666 85436. God bless you guys.
The comment section, we put our office number. Those are landlines, so you can call during office hours. If you check in the comment section, you see the Lagos office is.
Somebody said the other guy, what's his number? As you see Oyinbo, you want to interact with Oyinbo.
Yeah,
talk to Lucky. Lucky go give you Oyinbo.
No, talk to Blake. Blake is the one that. I mean, you talk to Blake first before you get to me. So even when you get to me, I'm gonna push you to Blake. I'll push you.
As person don't see Oyinbo, waiting to use Oyinbo do us for this country. Good night, everyone. Thank you, Lucky, for joining. Guys, take care. From where you are now to the US, it could be you before Christmas. What are you waiting for? Give it a thought. Don't have to be like Daddy Freeze that likes Nigeria. I did London. I just did. As I come on my way back from the airport, I tell my wife, say I must eat amala. If I know eat amala, no, they okay. I enter go slow, go eat amala. My own, I don't get problem. Yeah, I know say my own no they okay. Wale no Wale amala don't spoil in language. Wale no fit speak for them.
No, and then like I said, one of the best thing about Nigerian community in Dallas is that we have where you eat amala on sport. We have where you eat begiri, catfish, and
Alemoro. Oh yeah, Emalo. The two of you be going. Good night, everybody.